right. Well, I'm gonna bring on our next guest. Feel free to comment. Everybody could get in on this. Meanwhile, I will bring in from the movie Hideout, Brian Emery.
Hey, what's up, Lauren? Can you hear me?
What's going on? Yeah, Brian, I can hear you. Can you
Awesome.
hear your theme song?
No,
No, you can't.
I
Okay.
can't hear.
Bad air.
It's all
There
good.
you go.
I have a theme song.
Like that?
I fucking love it.
You deserve that.
Absolutely.
I
What
didn't
is that?
steal
Is it?
that from. I had no way, shape, or form stole that from the movie Wild at Heart.
I was about to say, was that Wild at Heart?
Yeah, I just always loved that riff.
One of the best Cage movies
I'm
out
always
there.
watching these things. I'm like, we need some more, some more flick, pizzazz involved in all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah, dude. We always need pizzazz.
Yeah. So Brian,
Hey.
tell the audience about what you're currently working on, and I know the main movie that you would like to be talking about in a moment or two, but go for it. Floor is yours.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Lauren. It's always a pleasure. Currently working on a movie called The Home, starring Pete Davidson. Just got cast in that.
Did you get near his penis at all? Because he's been doing really good.
Well, I haven't yet because I will be there on
Thanks, Anthony.
later this week. But this will be the second time I worked with Pete Davidson, so he's a nice guy. But other than that, I was just in Adam Sandler's Hustle, which is going to be a Netflix movie, and I was a mascot in that movie doing some cartwheels and stunts, and it's a big role. And then of course Hideout. Hideout is all over now. We shot it during COVID 2020, back before this was before vaccines. So everyone just kind of had to take tests and beforehand. Then we got there, we kind of quarantined at the place we were shooting at, and we took tests almost every day to make sure none of us had the COVID. And we shot a horror movie in 2 weeks.
So, for filmmakers out there, one thing about what we should let them know is Hideout's a very small cast.
Mhm.
Which is a really smart thing to do, unlike my movie where I had 1 million people in it, and I'm now like trying
fighting
to
each other, right?
Yeah. Like I don't think not going off cue here, but what I'm trying to do with the Dark Military too is I'm really sitting here and I literally pieced together a whole new movie for the sequel, and it really cuts a lot of what I had out. Where it would probably only need about 30 to 40 people compared to the 200 I want to go to. I really wanted that. I wanted choppers. I wanted to really swing for the fences here, but I can't afford it. I can't afford any breakout whatsoever. Everybody's different. Less people, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And hopefully that'll all change very soon, depending on where the world decides to go. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But tonight's not about politics. Tonight's about awesome indie films, horror movies, and of course, me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're all about the Brian Emmerich. Yes. Any horror movie fans out there, feel free to jump in on any questions whatsoever. We're hearing all that. But so you were with the Horror Syndicate for a little while. Now you're over here. Now you're actually a full-time actor, giving it your all. You used to review movies.
Yeah, and I stopped doing that if I wanted to get into this industry. I think
you had to. You did the right thing.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny now because now that I'm in a movie coming out, I see people reviewing that movie, Hideout, and I'm just like, oh my God, is this really the world that we live in? It's crazy. There's lots of things going on. I feel like all the content right now is going to streaming platforms. Like there's no movie that shows in movie theaters that is going to do pretty well unless it's a Marvel movie or the occasional Quentin Tarantino movie or I don't even know if slapstick comedies are doing that great anymore.
Now, when was the last comedy that you heard blew everything out of the water? Like it's a household,
Like in theaters, I
yeah,
think
theaters. Like, yeah, it's that bad in my eyes. It's that bad.
I think Pineapple Express. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I mean, of course, I did see Cats at the theaters with Steve Carino, and
Yes, I
we were
heard you guys had a great time at that.
yeah, we were laughing. We didn't get the version where the cats were showing their buttholes. I think they scrubbed the buttholes out the week that we went to go see that in the theaters. But where I was looking forward to the butthole edition of Cats. You know, except James Corden, I don't want to see his
You know
butthole.
what's funny? I like musicals a lot. I've
Mhm.
always and when Cats came on, it was available for free. I'm checking this out, and after about 19 minutes, 'cause I'm not a big fan of like that and Tommy, like where it just there's no dialogue at all. It's just continuing. But I didn't know what was going on. I was like, they look great. It's shot great, but I couldn't follow what was happening. I was
Who
like,
No one knows what the fucking cats were rambling about. It's
yeah. It's like
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Here's some music, and it's the '80s. Enjoy. Um, but yeah, I think that was like the last movie I saw in theaters, and I wouldn't even I would probably consider that a comedy. But yeah, comedy they're not doing well in theaters. Everything's going to streaming now. Like there's no room for the theaters, like especially movies like Hideout. It's going to have a hard time in the theaters, but it did pretty good in the festival circuit, because it's more of a niche crowd. Than your just average, public moviegoer. But public moviegoers don't want to spend money to go to movie theaters to see like indie films. They want to see fucking Spider-Man, where they get all the Spider-Man characters together in one movie and fight old villains. Like that was like, I wouldn't be surprised if that wins Academy Awards, like the movie Ass from Idiocracy.
Yes. I've always said I don't know, I had some weird random thought today because I had a lot of too much free time at work, but
Hmm.
I was picturing taking Thanos
Hmm.
out of Infinity War and Endgame and replace him with Magatu from Zoolander.
You might as well.
I just think it would be awesome. It'd just be
Oh yeah,
a cool one.
have Will Ferrell play all the characters. No, one
Yeah,
hundred
but
percent.
you see him having dialogue in that character? I think it'd be like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, no, I would love to see something like that, at least something with originality. But we're not getting that. But the streaming platforms are doing pretty fine. You have new content all the time on Netflix, on Amazon, on Hulu, on like the cheaper channels like I think Tubi's free, right? Tubi's still free.
Tubi's free, but it's owned by Fox now. So that's why if you go on, you see all their news outlets
Mhm.
and if you really look, I went on Tubi for the first time this past weekend,
Mhm.
and I saw a lot of movies that like better movies, like household name movies than I've ever seen before.
Oh, no shit.
Like I saw some Quentin Tarantino stuff in there. I'm like, okay, like so they're going to start making original content. They already said it because if you think about Pluto TV, I think is ABC,
Mhm.
Peacock's NBC, Tubi's Fox. So
Mhm.
everybody needs a streaming outlet now.
Yeah.
You know, Hulu's Fox or Fox or CBS, kind of mixed there. But like, you got to have that now. And in a small way, they're the savior of our movies like yours and mine
Mhm.
because those commercials, when we sit there on Tube and we watch it, that's,
Yeah.
commercial gets played, Tubi gets money, we get money.
Yeah.
It's crazy. In a way, it's a savior, but at the same time, when it comes down to it, like how much are they really playing?
Mhm. No, 100%. And if it's free, people are gonna see it even
Joe
more and enjoy.
Griffalo, this is all you. You can Cat's claymation
Cats
from the great.
claymation.
Yeah,
That would take a lot of work. I think probably a lot more work than removing the buttholes in CGI off of cats. Yeah,
because
claymation probably
cats don't have buttholes. We never see that when they're
not in the
walking all
movie.
happy with the tailboner.
Unless it's James Gordon, who is a butthole, itself. Every time he opens his mouth, shit comes out. Um, But yeah, I mean, like I love seeing all this originality, come out to the streaming platforms because that's what everyone's doing. No one has fucking time to watch a movie anymore either.
It's in pieces. You watch a movie in pieces now. You know what I mean? It's one thing cool about like your streaming outlet holds the movie the exact same spot that you left it. So sometimes like 13 minutes, 20 minutes, 8 minutes, and before you know it, you've been watching the same 90-minute movie for a week before you finally finish it.
Well, I mean, this is how older movies survived. Like they would show on TV. Like we didn't have any access to like knowing what's going to come on next back in the day. We had a TV guide. And like, these movies are just coming out. You can pick and choose what you want to watch. But back in the day, like it was a shown and you watched it and you watched the whole thing too. And even going to video stores. If you were going to a video store, you were looking at what cover sold the most. You took it home and you spent money on it and you watched the whole movie. Nowadays, no one watches more than maybe like 20 minutes of a movie. And then all of a sudden it sucks, low budget, bad acting. And it's like every movie, it's just like bad acting.
Well, I mean, when it really comes down to it, like that's where I have beef with. I don't understand things that work, like this particular thing.
Evil Dies Tonight.
That really happened.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah, feel free, everybody could chime in on this one, but. It's crazy because I look at, even though there hasn't been a Friday the 13th or a Jason, I'm sorry, or a Freddy in over a decade, I just look at it as they're owned by the major studios. You're on the slot. We're going to do a Friday the 13th. We're going to do a Halloween. We're also going to make this comedy over here. We're going to make this action movie over here. Yeah. And I just think they throw... Yo, write the script for this, but they don't understand the character. They don't understand the history. They don't understand. Like they're insulting the fans, and I'm always wondering, like, I know you're a big person who likes Halloween 2018. Like myself, I absolutely hated it. I hate Evil Dies Tonight, but I always think the studios look at. They know horror fans have to see it. Almost out of an ego thing of like, I got to go and give my feedback after. And when we're done, I will rate all the Halloweens in a row the way I like them. And even though no one asked that, every time I see a list of that, Star Wars, the Marvel movies, the DC movie, they're like, this is my least the greatest. And I'm like, I didn't care. I don't care.
That's the thing. Everyone's got a review nowadays. And to the people that are out there, I just want to say to you that no one reads your Letterboxd reviews. There's so many of them out there, compared to the regular comment or the content that's coming out in like movies. Halloween Kills. I don't. It was not a good movie. I liked the 2018 version only because it was like, wow, we haven't seen Laurie Strode fight back like this before.
Brian. For it comes to Michael Myers. I love the character. The first two movies to me are like the most amazing, glory days, total glory days. But at the same time, I'm a big Part-4 fan. I like the whole, the whole Jamie Lloyd character. I really do. But at the same time, Part-4 to me is really where it ended. I kind of have a favoritism for Part-5 because it's a continuance of 4, but there's a lot of problems with Part-5. Yeah. And then once he's getting beat up by Busta Rhymes, like come on here. And I kind of think they're just insulting the horror fans with what they're throwing out there now. I don't want to see an old man without the mask. I think that killed it as identity to me. He looked like a janitor. I'm not scared of a janitor. I didn't like the whole idea in 18, like the whole, we're podcasters. We'd like a murder evidence from the Myers kill. And we're going to go to an asylum whose job is to keep people calm. They're going to let them in. Sure. We want to rile up like the notorious killer. And they said, sure, come on in. Yeah. And then they don't even shove it in his face. They yell at him from behind and don't even face him. I was out there and I blew a microchip. I saw the movie. I don't remember it at all. And then the Halloween Kills trailer, I was like, this actually looks good. The trailer was tight.
Yeah.
Tight trailer. And I gave them some rope, and they hung themselves with it. That's the way I get. I love the flashback to the 1978, but you kind of basically said within 5 minutes, Dr. Loomis missed him 6 times. Or if he shot him 6 times, I don't see 6 bullet holes.
Yeah.
And Michael kills another cop. And then that cop shoots him 3 more times, but misses. So I just like to say, Haddonfield cops for 12 movies can't hit a slow-moving target. I just have to point that out.
I you know what? It just felt like a really bad remake of the original Halloween 2 from 1981. And like with her being like helpless in the hospital while chaos ensues, like it just felt like a really bad remake of that movie. But
it did, and I mean it had some moments like all films do, but I was just there was so many like you don't like to do Monday morning quarterback stuff, but there was a lot of problems, and I was like, you made a whole movie where Michael Myers doesn't want to chase Laurie Strode in any way. This part was he didn't go after her at all. He just went home. That's basically it. And Laurie Strode got an operation, got in a fist fight.
Yeah.
And somehow, from the house burning down in 2018, which I don't know the time, like, okay, it was definitely dark. So it had to be, 9, 10 o'clock maybe, when she left the house on fire. So the surgery, the evil dies tonight. It's got to be after midnight. What Wi-Fi download went into Laurie Strode's head? That she, at the end of the movie, she goes, if we only knew. What information did she get with another injured cop sitting next to her that she knows everything about Michael at this particular moment? I want to know what happened.
I'm surprised you remember that much because I stopped paying attention. I don't know. I just stopped paying attention. There was a lot of violence that I was like, cool, blood, yes. And then it was just like,
Yeah, you got to
where
give
are
it
we
the brutal
going?
thing. And,
Brutality wise, it was good for a Halloween movie. Story wise, I had no idea what was going on.
Story wise, was that Danny McBride? Did he write that one too?
I believe he did. And the thing that sucks is that you have all these fucking remakes and sequels coming out. Like they just announced another Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming out for Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's like it's harder and harder to make indie content anymore. Like there's a niche for it where you have like, supporters, friends, and people who are also filmmakers in this industry that are supporting each other. But when you have an indie movie and then you get like a major distribution, it's really hard to convince people to watch the product because the people are critics. They're everyone's a critic nowadays. Like I said before, with everyone, the oversaturation of like reviews on IMDb and Letterboxd and Rotten Tomatoes. No one reads them. Like people just like venting because they have a voice on these websites. But like they always go after like indie films because it's like they come out and they have like a target on their back and it's just like come after me. And but we have a great support system here in Indie World. What you're doing is great, bringing on guests to talk about their indie films. You have an indie film, on the promoting for a long time.
So yeah, it's crazy. So
always been supporting that, and I mean it's just the if people really want to say something about a movie, they should try making their own. Or like, if they're tired of watching the same remake after sequel, they should try making their own. Like the equipment's there. You can buy
equipment's there, and you pick up. You could write out anything you want. So if you have a problem and you've always wanted to see a movie like this, it's up to you. Go make this.
Yeah,
you got the access.
Yeah,
but we've got also on deck, Brian. I'm going to bring another guest in here.
Oh shit!
That join our party.
Oh shit!
Josh and Sarah Schultz are here.
Hey!
Look at this. Hold on, you get your music. Everyone gets one.
We were all in a movie together.
Yes.
Love it.
Thank you.
It's like that sweet WWE entrance music.
Yeah, except that's Wild at Heart with David Lynch. That's that. I stole that guitar riff. So,
nice.
That guy.
Hopefully you guys can hear us all right.
I can hear you guys. I can hear both of you completely fine.
All right.
Good.
So welcome. Say hello to Brian Emright.
What's
Hello.
up, Brian?
Hello,
How you
Brian
doing?
Enright.
Yes, this is Josh and Sarah Schultz from one of my short films, COVID 2024, and they've also been in a sea of other things, which also, I guess, the Haunted Honeymooners. Is this your new? Is that just like fun name, or is that your next project, your current project?
So actually, the Haunted Honeymooners is something that we started a few years back. We started shooting episodes for it, staying at haunted locations, ghost hunting, doing a bunch of crazy stuff. We've got a whole series that's kind of on deck, just waiting to be released. And we've been teasing people for over a year now, but we're really trying to find the right place to release it and just make sure it's done correctly. But yeah, so that's kind of another one of our projects that we work on.
Awesome. So yeah, we were kind of I don't know if you were hearing what me and Brian were talking about. We're kind of just talking about like the state of horror movies, and in a small way, it's kind of have that like our horror movie fan suckers in a small way. The way they're just consuming all the Halloween movies one after another, and Brian and I were talking about how they're not really done by horror people. They're not bringing real people who know the character in. And then we get Jamie Lee fighting Michael for the 6th time in diapers. Where's this all going? And I'm rather still scared for if New Line, Paramount, between two of them, when they release like the next Friday the 13th, like, are they going to try to pull the like, or is this? We're going to stop the franchise at number 3 and we're going to do something. I don't know. Or is Jason going to start talking? Who the hell knows with these people in charge? They're scared.
Could you imagine that if he just ripped his mask off in the middle and goes, "Evil dies tonight"?
Look at Jason Takes Manhattan at the end of that. Like, was he speaking or was that in his mind? I don't know, but
for sure.
But I don't know where our industry is going. Obviously, all of us we're indie people. We like to make our own movies, tell our own stories. But I always said that those 3 characters, particularly, even I can't comment on Scream 5. Someone told me it's not the same ending as normal.
Yeah.
So I might have to back off on that one. But if you want to sum up the ones that I know, Scream 1 to 4. I could sum up the movie in 8 seconds, which is, it's me, Sidney. I hate you really bad. Here's why. Cindy kills him, and Dewey comes in and goes, "Way to go, Sid!" That's all 4 of those movies in 8 seconds.
Pretty much. I think that's a solid highlight of it.
So I hope in this last one they proved me wrong, which a couple of people told me they did. They're like, "No, it didn't happen." I was like, "All right, okay, but
I heard it's really good.
I was trying to see it before I started this, but I'll catch it by my next live. I'm only doing these once a month. Anyone out there, feel free to drop some comments in here. We'll go, or any topic too.
Yes. I guess to kind of go back to what you were saying though, I do feel like it's a fine line, right? Because you do have fans of the franchise that like are directors that want to get in there and they want to make those nods to the old characters. But then you have these directors that come in and just have people tell them what was in the previous movies as like a bullet point. So then they go into the film and they go, "Okay, we got to have this guy. We got to have this guy."
Well, we're in that land now, especially in the soft PC universe. Well, you better check all the boxes now, which, I don't mind when things get brought in. I hate when it's all one big overnight, everything changed.
Yeah.
Don't spoon feed me that shit, but
so, and I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet, because I was in a meeting before I hopped on here, so I didn't get to watch the intro, which I'll go back and check out afterwards. Okay. But have you guys talked about or seen the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer? And what are your thoughts on that? Because it looks like a direct duplicate of the latest Halloween.
You know what I call it? From what I saw, a safe film. It's just like you're gonna just try to recycle something to keep the fans happy. And I don't know about you, Brian, jumping on this one too, but I just think for particular now, Michael Myers and Leatherface, they have nothing left to say. I can't think. If you were to tell me I'm in charge of that right now, I'd be like, let me bring this back 10 years from now. They need the rest. It's kind of like the solo Batman movies.
Yeah.
He's been around for 30 years. He's got to rest. The only, believe it or not, Batman I want to see is in Justice League. And I want to see Ben Affleck at it, not Christian Bale. I could not see Christian Bale's character speaking to Superman and Wonder Woman with that arrogant, because they kicked the shit out of him. The Ben Affleck one was like a smooth, like nice guy, like team. All right, well, let's put our brains together.
Yeah.
That's the only Batman I want to see. I don't want to see this Darth Emo one that's about to come out. I'm scared. Brian.
Oh, I want to see. You know, I watched the trailer and all I kept thinking to myself is, you know, they really dogged out John Dugan. I think there should be justice for John Dugan. Get him in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you're going to bring back all the characters from the first
John
movie,
should be in that shit.
He should be. He should be. Justice for John Dugan. I'm going to hashtag that shit and make an NFT.
As you can see by our background, we're a little bit of Texas Chainsaw fans here.
Oh,
so
fuck yeah.
we've got quite a few John Dugan.
This is your first wall I saw without, like, not a lot of Jason stuff on it. So, yeah. I saw all your masks and stuff.
You know, one of my favorite movies is the classic canon film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part-2, and it's because the Dennis Hopper plays Lefty Enright, and I love the name. So you know,
they should definitely have John Dugan, and for me, the curveball of the entire Texas Chainsaw. I'm a Hitchhiker fan. So when they kicked that around in 2003, it wasn't too bad in my eyes. The second he wasn't in it, like they didn't bring the hitch. I was like, is he coming in at the end? What
Where the hell is he?
Yeah.
We need this man. Yeah, Ed Neal is amazing, man. Ed Neal, John Dugan, both great people just personally, and then also incredible actors in the franchise. So they definitely are doing a disservice if they don't bring them back.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So you guys think Texas Chainsaw is going to be, where do you think it's, from what you've seen, what's your gut feeling?
I want to like it just because I want another movie, but I don't know if I can like it, because I think everybody thought the same thing. If you saw the new Halloween film, you saw the trailer and went, this is literally the same film with different people. Yeah. I mean, she gets in the fucking truck and says it's been 50 years. I mean, isn't that the same exact thing that fucking Laurie Strode said at one point? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I was literally saying that all to myself.
Yeah.
Driving places. They said evil dies today. The script writer, they read it and I was like, that's good. They didn't punch the script writer in the face. They're like, stop. I'm not going to walk around saying that. They're not. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Every time I see James Gordon, I just say evil dies tonight.
And I think I've always been a fan of Anthony Michael Hall. He's been good in everything. I don't know if he tried an action beat or the director said, this is where I want you. But it's like, why couldn't Anthony Michael Hall all of a sudden not act? It was bad. It was just like, kid walk down the street and blah, blah, and to top it all off, I didn't like his character because he went to a bar on Halloween where people had a good time and basically said, me, and them over there. So you owe us drinks.
What was his talent? Like, it was a talent show. What was he just doing? He was just like, I survived, and
you owe me drinks. That's it. Buy me.
I'm low key an alcoholic, and he could come back. Who knows?
And I was really happy when I was like, okay, they're showing people from the first film. Cool. All right. And then they just die. I was like, they just die. What are they doing?
Can we talk about the fact that one of the biggest plot holes for me was when they see the short fat guy from the asylum and they go, it's Michael Myers.
How do they know what he looks like?
How the fuck do you go from a 5'8", maybe 250-pound guy to someone who's fucking 7 foot tall,
running from people? Michael never ran from anyone. What do you mean?
Yeah, they profiled him. They're just like, you look like Ben Franklin. You didn't comb your hair. You've got to be Michael Myers. That's
him. That's got to be it.
So awful.
And I was telling Brian a little earlier about that ending where Jamie Lee leaves the house in 2018 on fire. Goes to the hospital, has a surgery, gets in a fight, goes back to sleep, and then wakes up with Wi-Fi in her head. Is the only thing I can think of. She directly, the World Wide Web downloaded what Michael Myers was to her and a cop sitting next to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they told the audience. They now know what Michael is. She didn't know beforehand.
Yeah.
The surgery, they must have put a chip in her or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah. I did enjoy the kills. I'm not gonna lie.
No, the kills were
those were great, but everything else, I'm like, oh, you can just.
They didn't play around. I thought he looked really cool coming out of the fire thing. Except his mask would have melted completely on his face. By the way, it would have completely melted. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, but he looked cool. I like to talk to the firemen about you don't fight someone one-on-one.
It was very like
let's see how this guy does. Let's see how John Doe does. He didn't win. Steve, get in there.
Get in there.
It's like when you play Streets of Rage and you're fighting one guy and everyone else is just watching you beat up like their friend, and then they they tag in once you're done beating up their friend and eat a turkey.
Oh, it was pure madness, man.
So bad.
I just didn't. It literally just felt like it was to me on the conveyor belt of films they had to do. And that's what I'm talking about, where you're insulting us, but at the same time, it's like every horror movie fan is going to watch it because they got to drop their opinion.
Yeah.
They got to give the honest review.
Yep.
And then they got to rate them in order, which I didn't ask you to do. I don't think anybody asked you to do. They do it for Star Wars films. They do it for all their Marvel movies. I'm like, why? Go outside.
Yeah.
Go outside.
But you have to read their letterbox, Lauren.
Yeah. I have to.
Read their reviews. Please. No one else is.
Freaking messed up, man. It really is. But
oh man.
Are there any films out there that people should be seeing that's like new that we could pass on?
Ooh, what have we watched? Well, I don't know. This isn't a film, but we just finished the show on Netflix.
Which one?
Archive. Is it Archive 81?
Archive 81. You
have
guys
you
check
seen
that out?
No, I can't say I have.
It's not a movie. It's a show, but it's amazing.
It's pretty sick, man. It's
good.
What is it? 8 episodes, 10 episodes. I think it's 8 episodes. Just about a guy who gets basically pulled in to restore a bunch of old videotapes that were burnt up in a fire, and every time he restores one, some other shit happens. He finds out more things. And
okay, I like that content. This is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's really good, man.
He's alone in the Catskills Mountains in this isolated house. It's huge. A lot of really bad shit happened there, and then he just knocks down these walls and finds all kinds of crazy shit. And
is it one of those? He's kind of isolated.
He's isolated, but it goes back and forth. So when he restores a tape, you go into the tape, and then it basically transitions over to this person's life. And you see what was going on. And it's a bunch of occult stuff, sex orgies, crazy,
satanic demons going into the other world, worlds combining.
It's cats.
It's really.
Like the movie Cats?
Yeah.
No.
Something with you.
That is the best horror movie that's ever been put out. Though,
you goddamn
No. Pretty Woman will always be the most scariest movie ever made.
Pretty Woman?
Yes. A guy fell in love with a street hooker.
Scarier than James Corden.
Like not an escort. He fell in love with a street hooker. And he's got to explain that to everyone he meets. Like, how'd you meet? Be like, well, funny. Cat's out of the bag. I had this thing. I pick up street hookers.
There's a musical, right? They just made a musical. Yeah.
Wow.
That's James Corden in a cat suit. No, I'm kidding.
That's so bad.
I love it.
So bad.
Brian, I did not notice your Howard the Duck in the background. That's pretty awesome.
I'm a fan of movies that no one else likes. So I like to hang them up and showcase them. I got a big giant poster of Death Wish 3 out in the living room. One of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, it's the bastard child of George Lucas. So why not? Let's showcase it here.
You're right.
Awesome. All right, kids. Well, plug away anything you want right now, or how anyone could reach you guys. And you know, I'm going to thank you guys for coming on. This was fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Brian, obviously you first.
You start.
Sure. Go see Hideout. It came out in November last year, and we're going to be at the Garden State Film Festival. That's where one of our final screenings will be at. But you can also see Hideout on Amazon, to Vudu, Redbox, Apple TV, iTunes, YouTube, and then I believe it will be on Amazon Prime for Prime members sometime in February. I'll get a date for you. So yeah, check it out. Hideout.
Sick.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Heck
Sarah,
yeah.
Josh, go for it. What do you got?
You first, because you're beautiful.
No. So
I'm not lying.
oh, thanks. So I was talking last year about doing a baby firefly photo shoot from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Me too.
I have the dress. There's this amazing designer named Amalia. She lives in Los Angeles. She works with Danielle Harris. She made this dress for me. It's amazing. Turn it around.
It's the full replica of the
I want to be
dancing scene.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that with it. Like, I believe in a week or two. Thanks to COVID, we had to put it off last year, so that was a no. So that's what
everything.
I have coming up. But together we have a couple of things like Amityville Hex.
Oh, Amityville Hex, yes.
Finally coming out this year. It was supposed to release last summer. Thanks COVID, it didn't release.
Yeah.
So this year they're saying it's Vipco and Wild Eye releasing. Director Tony Newton, he's awesome. He's in the UK.
I'm friends with him. Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, we did that film.
What movie did we put out with him? The first one?
Dark Web Mystery Box.
Dark Web
and
Mystery
then,
Box.
Amityville Hex. That's a cult film. Super excited for that.
Yes.
And what else do we have?
Dark Web's actually out. You guys can check that out on YouTube if you look up Dark Web Mystery Box.
Yeah.
We also did the Witchcast too. So Witchcast we did with Tony Newton. Rihanna Nicole. There's a bunch of different people in there. Great people. That's up on YouTube as well. And we actually, you guys will be the first to know, if you want a little sneak peek.
Oh shit.
Got a project with Brink Stevens coming out. Just working on finishing up the marketing stuff for that. You should start seeing some clips and a trailer come out probably in about a week or two.
Sweet.
So keep your eye out for that. It's parolethemovie.com. There's a lot of big stars. The website is totally outdated right now, and that's something that I've been brought on to kind of update and help out. As well as I am the actor in the first scene. So
Fuck yeah.
pretty cool. Got to be in the movie. Got to hang out with Brink Stevens, a bunch of different great people. I won't ruin the surprise of everybody who's in there, but I figured Brink might, ring some bells with you guys with that name. So
Sweet. Well, then I say to my audience, thank you for taking the time to check out the show. Please subscribe on YouTube as well as Amazon, Spotify. There it is. Stitcher and iHeartRadio. We have a new show every Monday. And check out the Dark Military for free. Tubi and Zumo Plex. And what we got? Pennsylvania Hardcore. This is free in the same outlets. So with that, I will.
Fucking love that scene.
All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.